Hi everyone, Beth Elkins Wales here from the Pilates Loft. Let's get started. We're going to go into our hands and knees, and we're going to start with a little bit of belly breathing here. It's important when you're on your hands and knees to make sure that you've got vertical lines underneath you. So the vertical lines we're looking for are from the armpit to your wrist, right? We don't want to have the hands out here, which is pretty common. We want to have them back under your armpits, and then your knees under your hips as well. Sometimes they get up here a little bit. So make sure that you've got this nice box underneath you. And then I'm going to show off my belly breathing, okay? We sometimes call this the pregnant cat in the Eve Gentry work. Keeping the integrity of the curves in your spine. In other words, it's not a cat-cow. We're not moving the back at all, not the bones. Instead, you're letting your belly fill as you breathe in. It hangs down as if you have a litter of kittens in there. I know it's a little uncomfortable for some of us to let that happen. And then exhale, pull your kittens up into your spine. And again, inhale, fill. And exhale, tone your abdominals, pull them up into your back without any tucking, no change, right? So my curve is staying neutral. Inhale, let your guts fall away from your spine. And then exhale, pull all that soft tissue up into the bones of your back. Okay, we're gonna try to keep that. And another thing I want you to be aware of, besides these hyperextended arms, which I'm a pretty big culprit, so ignore me if I'm popping my elbows forward. Try to keep your arms straight without blocking them. And then the other thing we want to be careful of is that we're not dropping down into the shoulder girdle. See how hollow I just got between my shoulder blades? It looks awfully, it's a weak position, right? It's not sustainable. So I'm going to tell you as we're going to really push against the floor to keep those blades supported by the musculature in the upper arm and the upper back. Okay, that we're not dropping down like a old pony or something. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and do our lion drinking. So we're going to bend the elbows. There's a little rotation back so the elbows point at your thighs. Inhale, you're lowering your nose to the floor, and exhale, push up. It is very much like a push-up, isn't it? Keep your knees over your hips. You're going forward, and exhale, press. Good. Let's just do two more, knowing that you can pause the video and do more on your own. Exhale, press. Try to keep this distance, earlobe to shoulder. Keep it great. Okay, so as you lower down to see your reflection in that puddle, you have a long neck. And go ahead and push up. Let's do some opposite reaches. So continue to pull your soft tissue up into the bones of your back. We're going to extend the right leg back behind you. Really reach it out. Most of us like to stop about here. And that means we're just not activating the hamstring and the glute as much as we should be. We want to really stretch it. And if it feels better to flex it and push that heel away, go ahead. Do that. Reach it. Send your left arm forward. I'm careful not to sag into this right side. Push the floor away with your right hand. Pull your belly up and stay. Breathe with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on down. Now push the floor away with your left hand. Reach that left leg back. Unfold it. Push the heel. You're reaching your heel away from your strong center. Reach your right arm forward and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on down. Very nice. Okay, sit back for just a moment. Give yourself a little stretch in that lower back. You can hang here for a while if you need to in rest position. And then we're going to situate face down for our swan. I'd like you to find a place where you can tuck your elbows pretty close to you rather than up like little grasshopper legs. Try to bring them down. And then our legs are rotated so our heels are together, but they might not actually be together. There might be some space there, but they're not aimed at the ceiling. Does that make sense? So we're a little bit turned out. You decide on the spacing. From here, you've got your forehead down. I like the image of nudging a marble. We want to nudge that marble with the tip of the nose and watch it roll across the floor. The marble doesn't bounce off the ceiling or the walls, right? It's rolling across the floor. Watch it go, pushing down with your hands, picking up with your belly. Push your tailbone down, let your pelvis tip, and then slowly come on down. Fold your elbows in and bring that marble home with the force. May the force be with you. Bring that marble back. Let's do that 2 more times. So we're peeling. There is a little curve in your neck, not a break in the neck, but a curve. We want to support that. Push down with your hands, pick up with your belly. Good, you can still breathe, you can talk, you can drink with a straw, and come on down. If you feel like getting up there and doing a little rocking, good for you. Go for it. That's a great thing to do. Otherwise, we're going to move on to our single leg kicks. So we're here. We're finding a position we call the Sphinx. Classically, it's done with the fists together. I don't love that because I find that it pulls our shoulders together. So let's keep them wide for me today. Your belly's really picked up. You're pushing your tailbone down. We're going to double kick the right leg like you're trying to kick your bum. 1, 2, reach it out and down. Left, 1, 2, reach and down. There is a flex and a point that goes with this. I'm not going to address that, but if you know it, you can certainly do that. Keep those shoulders drawing down. There's a little pull back, like you're going to army crawl across the room. So we're not hanging out watching TV. You're really picked up, pushing down. Remember, this position is called Sphinx, and Sphinxes are very regal. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Exhale and come on down. Great, let's do our double leg kick. So we're going to turn the head to one side. Hands are stacked on your lower back. A lot of people like to attach the fingers together. I don't do that. I'm thinking of 2 sheets of paper, one and the other one's laid down. And then drop your elbows to the mat as much as you can. To me, it feels like I'm sleeping on the beach. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so I'm actually letting my body kind of hunch into the mat. I'm going to take both legs, kick them to my bum 3 times. 1, 2, 3, stretch, long, turn, down, bend. 1, 2, 3, stretch, long, turn, down. Drop the elbows to the mat, stretch, turn. 1, 2, 3, my hands become unattached here. If you are more flexible than me, which a lot of you probably are, keep your hands stacked. That's great. One more. 1, 2, 3, turn, and come on down. Very good. Take a moment, push yourself back to rest position. Give yourself some time here. And we're going to make our way to sitting to do a little neck pull. I don't love the name of this exercise, neck pull. It's not something I recommend. Head support, maybe, we could nickname it. Let's go to Pilates view, which means your heels are together, your calves, your knees, your inner thighs. You're meshing the bones of those legs, and you're placing your heels down. Try not, like me, to let them pop up. Try to keep them down. There's a couple ways you could do this. You could put your hands on your chest, you could place your hands on your forehead, or you could support your head. We're going to support the head. So for now, we want to be right up on those sits bones. The sits bones are those little bony prongs at the base of your pelvis. If you were on the hardwood floor, you'd feel them for sure. You feel like your butt bones, yeah? So we want to stay on those guys. We're not going to the tailbone, but we're just going to paint with the top of our head a little stripe along the ceiling towards the wall behind you without popping those ribs, and then come right back up. A little bit of this goes a long way. Keep those heels heavy. Back you go. We're all shaped differently, so we're all going to look very different on a lot of these, and especially this one. Here we go, keeping length between the ribs and the hips, but keeping those ribs funneling together. And then up to the top. If that's enough, that's fine. If you want to go a little further, we're going to take that same hinge back, and then we're going to start from here. Curl the tail under. You're on your tailbone. You're lengthening all the way down. Let's reach the arms up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale up and over. There's your roll up. And from here, just sit up tall, hands behind your head. Let's do that one more time. Hinging back. Breathing, curl your tail, keep your ribs moving away from your hips. Reach out and up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale up and over. And then sit tall. Good. This video, we just have one more exercise that we're going to do, and we're still sitting. I want you to take up a little more space with your feet, so it's a little bit easier to be upright. And really be honest with yourself. If you're having trouble sitting up because of hamstring flexibility or lower back tightness, get a pillow, get a bolster, get a sweatshirt. If you're on a raised mat, drop your feet off so that it's just easier for you to sit up, because we're going to twist from here. And we don't want to approach a twist action when we're already slung back like this. So really try to be up on your sits bones to the best of your ability. I call this paint the wall. We're going to imagine that we have a wall here growing up out on the outside of our mat on the left side. So take your right hand to your left outer leg. We're going to breathe in as we look forward. You're as tall as you can be. Exhale, deflate. Reach past your left foot. Heavy head. Inhale, up to the ceiling. Pause for a moment and realize that your hand is right over your head, right over your hips. Yeah, you got that vertical line. And then use your right hand to help rotate so you can finish painting down that wall behind you. Up to speed. So we inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Doesn't that feel great? Let's take that left hand over to the right side. This is our last thing. Inhale. Exhale. Take your time. Really connect with that slow breathing. Inhale. And exhale, twist. We're going to do 2 more reps. Inhale. Exhale. Heavy head. Really deflate. Inflate up to that vertical line. Hand, head, hips. Rotate using your left hand. Turn your rib cage. Inhale, recover. Here's our last one. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, big twist. Good. Great, guys. Thanks for joining me. That's it for now. Thank you.